Yo, Kepe's Guy here. What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, and today I want to talk about how to place your acoustic panels properly around your room. But before we get into that, we need to know what are acoustic panels and what do they do. Now, there are a lot of acoustic panels out there, so I want to go through a few of them and kind of their purpose so that you know what kind of acoustic panels you need in your room and then how to place them once you have them. As you guys can see here, this is my GIK acoustic panel here. I have two of them, and they do a lot of different things for my room, and they affect different types of frequencies. This is a diffuser and an absorber, and we'll go through and talk about what that means, but this has made a huge difference in my sound. Just putting two in the room has made a huge difference in all of my audio. Everything that I watch when I'm recording videos, everything sounds a lot cleaner, a lot tighter. So let's talk about what types of acoustic panels there are, and then we'll talk about how to place them. All right, so what are acoustic panels? Something like this, right? What are they? Well, acoustic panels are made to treat your room's performance when it comes to its sound, to its acoustics. It's made to kind of dampen some of the issues that a room causes when you have multiple speakers in your room, or if you're in a studio or a choral room or something. A lot of reverberation, a lot of echo, nulls and peaks, etc. happen in a room, and panels like these are supposed to help address those issues when EQ or equalization can't. So here's what we're talking about. So this is my diffuser here. This is one of two that I have on another wall here, and this is made of pretty much foam, right? Most acoustic panels are made of foam. Now, the density or thickness of the foam will decide what frequencies that particular panel will treat. This is about a 4-inch thick piece of foam, 24 inches tall, I think 12 inches wide here. And so this is made to treat the thickness of the sound, the mid-range frequencies, the tough stuff, right? And so the thinner the foam panels are, the less effective they'll be, and the harder it'll be at treating some of the lower frequencies. Now, there are different panels that do different things, like bass traps, for example. Bass traps typically go in your corner to keep the bass from kind of getting stuck in a corner and brings it out into the room. Sometimes when you're listening to music, you may know that when you start to move towards a corner or you move a speaker towards a corner, you start to reinforce your bass in a negative way. It can sound boomy, muddy, muffled, or way too loud. Bass traps kind of break up some of those waves that are getting stuck in the corners and help them flow around the room to give you a better, cleaner, more accurate bass response. So that's what bass traps do. So there's a lot of different acoustic panels, like for example, ceiling clouds, what a lot of people call them, panels above your head that keep the frequencies up there from being too jumbled, getting lost out there, help them scatter around the room so that every part of the room has a really nice response. Kind of a basic, generic kind of explanation, but the point is to go and look what kind of panels you need for your setup, because there are many different kinds, maybe 6 or 7 different panels. It's worth it going to look up and researching how thick do you need panels, what panels affect certain frequencies, because they do differ between frequencies. How big, how small, how thick, how thin do I need my panels to be before you go and buy them, because you may be treating a problem that you don't have, or vice versa. You may not be treating a problem that you do have. So it's important to go and do your research and see what kind of panels you need and what they do, because all panels do something different. So we mentioned that this panel here is both a absorber and a diffuser panel, and here's what that means. An absorber panel does what the name suggests. It absorbs some of that sound. It kind of lessens the sound. Maybe you have a frequency that's really too loud. Maybe let's say 300 hertz is just really boomy. You have a hard time knocking that down. So you get a panel here that can diffuse or to absorb that sound so that you don't have that giant peak around that 300 hertz range or whatever range you may have. This here absorbs some of those frequencies and kind of evens out the bass or the mid-range frequency in this case. Now this is also a diffuser. That's why this pattern is here. A diffuser scatters the sound around the room. Instead of it being trapped in one area, it hits this and then disperses so that that sound becomes more even across more parts of your room. It's very effective for sure. Now I want you guys to take a moment down below in the comment section and tell me, are you using acoustic treatment right now? Yes or no? If it's a yes, what kind of acoustic treatment are you using? And if it's a no, tell me why you chose not to. Let me know the reason why, because there's not a room out there that can't benefit from acoustic treatment. So tell me why you did choose or did not choose to have some in your setup. Now that we know what acoustic panels do and what they're for, we need to know how to place them. You can't just put these wherever you want to. There are strategic points you want to place your panels at so that you get the best performance out of them. Yes, performance, because these are actively changing the sound in your room. So I have a full 7.2.4 Dolby Atmos system, meaning 7 speakers on the ground level, 2 subwoofers, and 4 Dolby Atmos speakers above my head. And these panels are going to help me kind of tame my main 7 speakers. These particular panels handle the mid-range, so they're affecting some of my big peaks, my big boomy nodes that I have in here. So that's what these are for. I do have some smaller ones, and I have some medium-sized ones placed around the room as well to help with different frequencies. But how did I figure out how to place those? Well, it's simple in a sense. We'll make it simple at least. You guys may have heard this. It's been around for years and years and years. And it's the Mira Trick. Now this is just a little mirror that I have in my car, but you can use any mirror or have a friend help you. It's much easier with another person, another pair of hands. So typically you want to go around the room, right? You want to sit in your listening position and have your extra pair of hands go around the room against the wall. And as they're moving around the room, you want to see if you can see a speaker in the reflection of the mirror. So if I put my mirror here and I'm sitting down and I can see one of my speakers, well, that's where I should place my panel. How do I know that? Or why should I do that? Speakers reflect, they bounce off of your walls. Whenever a speaker hits the wall, it's called the first reflection point, meaning that's the first time it hits something and ricochets somewhere else. This mirror represents that wave, right? So when a speaker makes an audible sound, it hits off of here and it bounces in another direction. So that's how you know where to place your panels. Use your mirror as your wave finder and put that mirror against the wall and have that person move around the room until you can see your speaker in the mirror from where you're sitting. And if you can, that's roughly where one or a few of your panels should be to tame that first reflection point. So there's many reflection points, 1, 2, 3 reflection points, but the first one is the first time the speaker bounces. Once it does, it bounces somewhere else and then finally reaches your ear. You want to tame at least the first reflection point so that your sound hits your ear more accurately, more pinpoint, instead of dispersing around the room, right? So find yourself a mirror and an extra friend, your wife, your husband, a neighbor, and take a mirror and go across the room for all of your speakers, all against all of your surface area on your wall. And every time you see your speaker in the reflection of the mirror where you're sitting, put a panel there. You'll greatly increase the performance of your speakers and increase the sound quality in your room. Now, I guarantee you, a lot of you guys in the comment section said, I don't have acoustic treatment because it's just too ugly. It's too big. It's a bunch of panels sitting around my room. I don't want that in my living room. I don't want that in my basement, my media room, whatever it is, right? I'm sure that's the main reason why you guys don't have acoustic panels. But you guys may not be aware that there's 2 ways to have these and still look good. One way is you can get acoustic panels just like this with art designs, with whatever artwork you want to have. You can have them custom made so that they look really good. You can even have them one solid color. You can have them with some fabric over top, something to make it look a little bit nicer to appease you or your wife or whatever. You don't have to get something that obviously looks like a panel. You can make it look a lot nicer, like more artistic, to complement your decor in your room. So look into that. A second way to add treatment to your room is just simply adding curtains to the windows, carpet on bare floor. You can make a huge difference in doing that. Reflection points don't just happen on the walls. They happen on bare floors. They happen on the ceiling. And if your speakers are sitting on top of like an entertainment stand, a TV stand or something, that's also a reflection point as well. You can treat all sorts of things in all sorts of ways. Put a rug on a bare floor, put a curtain on a window, pillows, a lot of pillows on your couch absorb some of the extra energy. Even just basic picture frames and artwork that you normally put on the wall will do some good for your room as well. Having your walls completely bare adds a lot of more reflection points that you can't tame with an equalizer. You can't just boost frequencies and cut frequencies and think, okay, I just did it. You need something like this to really make a difference in your sound system. And this is good enough to really up your performance level. It may sound so much better this way to where it feels like you upgraded your receiver, you upgraded your speakers, you made a huge upgrade, right? No, you just put some acoustic treatment up and you kind of fine tune your system that way. It's a huge help, I promise you. So don't be afraid to get acoustic acoustic panels. If you have a wife who's not keen on that, maybe look into things together and kind of find artwork type of panels, artistic panels that both of you guys like that still get the job done. You may be able to make her happy and make you happy at the same time. Can you believe that? So you may be able to do that. So look into it, guys, but don't leave your room untreated. I promise you, you are doing your whole system and the money you spent on it a disservice. So I'm going to end the video with that, guys. Again, leave me a comment down below and tell me, do you have acoustic treatment and what is your reason for having it or not having it? Let us know that down below in the comment section, and feel free to tell us what kind of acoustic treatment did you choose and why. Let us know that down below in the comment section. Hit that like button and subscribe if you are not already. We will see you guys in the next video. K-Biz Guy out. Peace.